1147 in the mix right here on CKLN 88 Point Movements, Boshment, Excitement, Upliftment, and you're locked into movements, and so you're not far from sunshine. We're doing this until 2 a.m., giving you non-stop movement, continuous Boshment, excitement, and upliftment. But right about now, I have a special guest in the studios. For all the ladies out there, we have none other than Lenn Hammond. Welcome to Movements.
Blessed love and good night, and thanks for having me on the program.
Oh, hear that voice. That's a radio voice right there. Why don't you just host the show and play your tracks and just serenade the ladies until 2 a.m. for us?
You have a sexier voice, man, so.
Welcome, Mr. Hammond, to Movements. How you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. Wonderful cold weather. Can't ask for nothing better at this time.
Cold season, that's how we know you're a foreigner now. Cold weather.
It's like a weird.
.1 in the mix right here on CKLN 88.1, broadcasting live from Toronto. It's your girl Mercedes on a Thursday night, and we're going right up until 2 a.m. And if you're just tuning in, we're vibing with none other than Lenn Hammond as we peep the sounds of his new album, Raw Soul. So give us a call, actually. Let us know if you're enjoying the ride. Yeah, if you've got any questions that you'd like to ask Mr. Hammond personally, you can give me a call at 416-595-1655. That's 416-595-1655. And in the background, we just heard, actually, No Stranger, and we're listening out for that sound that he was talking about. That sound. What was No Stranger? I want to say what was No Stranger about. Oftentimes we hear lyrics, and we take them for what, we just take the lyrics as they're delivered, and yet sometimes there's something deeper behind the lyrics.
Well, just sometimes as a man, when you're working away from home, certain reality hits you that you miss your woman. And it don't even have to be a love song, but in this case, it's a love song. A man basically expressing to his woman that, I'm here on the road and I'm missing you, and I'm making you know this from miles away. It's one way to employ the brothers to be like that. Let the lady in your life know that she's important and you miss her. So it's from that sentiment.
Okay. So tell us then, in terms of you being on the road, because we've not had you for a while. We've not been graced to have Lenn Hammond in Toronto for a while. Where have you been? What have you experienced? What have you been doing?
Too many things. I've been up to Rosso. Yeah, that's been the priority, It's been a journey, lots of sacrifices, Lost some friends along the way with it, and gained some new friends and some new fans. But it's been a good journey and an enlightening one, and something that I've learned a lot from, So, Raw Soul, it's just on this album I'm, being raw in the sense of spiritual and musically, it's not no tricky thing or technical thing. It's just simple, fun music, that can affect some positive vibes.
You mentioned earlier about subcultures, and I wanted you to sort of expand on that a little bit more.
Yeah, because everybody here in Jamaica, so they think it's a vacation spot in most cases, and sometimes in your backyard you have people who are what we call it now. What they do for a living is hardcore. So if you're going a certain area and you don't know the code, you don't know the language, they have a different culture going on in there. You see the shoes hang over the light wire. Some people think, oh, someone left their shoe on the wire, when really and truly that is making yo, don't play with this place. You know, so you have little signs like that. So, things like that, you learn the subcultures of certain areas, you learn what bleaching is about and why it happened. Even though you regret, you wish that they wouldn't do it. But, you learn, like bleaching is a subculture now in Jamaica. Where it's been around for ages, but it's a different thing. It has been revamped. So when you learn to communicate with the people who bleach, you can't talk to them, so you have to just sell them raw soul things and hope them understand,
I don't understand. Can you
Well, because,
explain?
all right, bleaching for one, it bleach off the protective layer of your skin,
Right.
right? So when you're dealing with these people, a song like this, they're saying, no, when you have to slow them down and say, no, man, you listen to some song like this, it mellow you and give you rhythm. In a certain music, you don't have a soulful spirit coming from it, or
Yeah.
a loving spirit, or something. You can't get intimate to the beat or to the music in a lot of cases. So, and it stems from the subculture that is happening in that certain part of Kingston or Clarendon or Westmoreland. So that's what I had to learn and, encompass all of this and try and bring it forward to the music.
As you talk about the beat, maybe you can sort of expand on that a little more as well too, because you had mentioned something earlier that made me want to touch on that. I think we were talking about the Nyabingi rhythm.
Oh,
Yeah.
on the Funde.
Okay, the fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
not far from sunshine, I mean, it is something that I always wanted to experiment with. Me and my brother Jana, he's in Africa now.
Okay.
He's now a priest, I heard, in Africa, so give thanks to him.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm the big singer. But we always, had this vision of, doing some music and doing albums and just funde, and doing the same type of sweet, provocative love songs, but do them in a more, funde manner and get to the point still. And not far from sunshine was an experiment, and it seemed to be working. So in the future, we plan to explore more on that sound, widen the raw soul some more.
And then as you talk about the beats and because I remember having this conversation with President Brown a while ago too, in terms of some of the music that is coming out now and the effects that it has on people in terms of like the beats per minute. And can you expand on that? You'd probably be a little more knowledgeable.
Well, if the original beat is the funda, the heartbeat. So anything that surrounds the tempo of the heartbeat tend to resonate well with people and with life. So oftentimes you find some of the beats that are coming out, they don't create intimacy. So it create a certain lack of enjoyment within the music and within even the parties. Because you say man over there and woman over there, so nobody now get close again. So you need music with certain bass lines and certain drums and certain melodies, to create that intimacy within the music, so that if you notice the baby boom when in the 90s when Dave Kelly and those people were in dancehall, they had this big baby boom because dancehall was nice and so when you enjoy dancehall too much. But the rhythm, the beats were nice. So we need some more of those curvy, sweet bass lines and as usual African thing and bring it forward and create intimacy within the arena.
And I think at times when we're listening to music, we don't even understand what messages are being sent out through just even the mere tempo or drum pattern that's being. And I know for me, for example, even when I'm driving and I'm hearing certain songs, depending on what that song is and the tempo and whatnot, sometimes I find myself turning it up loud and my foot gets heavy on the gas pedal, and then it's like you lose control kind of thing.
Yeah, man. Sometimes some of the music tend to be rebellious. That being rebellious is a bad thing, because I tell you like a certain time when I listen to a sizzler, the man and decide to, say to them I get my own because he revved up and sizzler, but it's positive things, So I see the glass half full enough at the time, even when some people see it half empty, I'm like, yo, it's getting empty to full again. So it's always half full. So I try to put this in the music, and create intimacy and create a sweetness within the whole thing.
And it's the power of music too. I think oftentimes artists and musicians don't realize how much power they actually have in their hands just through what they create.
Music to me it hypnotizes people, So if you're not careful with it, it can hypnotize you too while you're doing it.
True.
You don't call it getting a spirit, but let's hope you can control that level when you get there,
For real. Live it up as we go. we're gonna go back to some of the tracks, but I'm doing your picks first, and then we gonna do my picks. So "Live It Up" is another one of your picks off your album.
Yes.
Why "Live It Up"?
Boy, Live It Up, it happens to be a special song. You know, people keep making the same comment. Boy, there's something about this track, and I found it with the track, listening back after I sang it in the studio. I'm like, yo, something about this track, you know, something about it. And it's been resonating with people, you know, so I found it, and the message in it is a positive one, and, you know, you can use it like a prayer, you can use it like a morning ritual, you know, or something like that, but it's positive, and positivity is good.
I can't wait to
"1220" in the mix right here on CKLN 88 Point Movements, bashment, excitement, upliftment. We're vibing with Mr. Raw Soul. Raw Soul. Mr. Lenn Hammond in the studio. Yeah, with your girl Mercedes taking you until 2 a.m. Hotlines open until that time at 416-595-1655. That's 416-595-1655 if you'd like to vibe with Mr. Hammond. Give us a call, all right? And the most intimate question, the most intimate question, maybe we got a special surprise for you. Can we give away like a CD or something? You got an extra CD we can give away?
Yeah,
all right. So I'm looking for the most intimate question for Mr. Hammond, yeah? And you can qualify to win a CD, Raw Soul. Not yet on the shelves as yet. When's it going to be on the shelves?
We're working for a month's time, you know?
Okay. So there you go. You'll get the album a month in advance.